Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend.
Oh, I'm James, your black friend. On mute, it doesn't help.
Well, this is the Fat and Black Connection, where we talk about anything and everything.
Well, as long as it's, interesting to us.
Yes, and your microphone's on mute. Your camera looks like garbage. What are we gonna do with you? I mean, what are we gonna do? We gotta do something, man.
Yeah.
You gotta step. I need you to step your game up,
bro.
Can you work on that?
No.
Well, as occasionally happens here on the Fat and Black Connection, we do once in a while have to start off the show on a bit of a sad note. And the last couple of days, we lost a giant, Apollo Creed.
What?
Carl Weathers.
I missed this one.
What?
Yeah, I missed that. Toby Keith apparently died yesterday.
Yeah. Carl Weathers, known for Predator.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I got my
obviously Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a staple of my youth. Like, I could tell you when I was a kid, I watched Happy Gilmore, and I'm not joking, probably 50 to 75 times.
That's a lot
it was one of those. Yeah, it was one of those movies, like, back then that you didn't have streaming services at your fingertips.
So you had the VHS.
It might have been a DVD, like right when they first came out. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I've watched Happy Gilmore multiple times. Not that many. I've watched it. It comes on. They put it on a lot on USA. It's come a lot on USA, so I'll sit down and watch. I might not watch the whole thing, but I'll watch parts of it.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones where you can pretty much walk in at any point in the film, and you're probably good to go.
Yeah.
But Carl Weathers, big loss. Big ups.
Yeah, give that man his powers.
So, just to change up the mood for a second, James, I got to ask you a question.
What up?
What the hell is Batman? Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, Slider-Man.
Slider-Man? What the? Is this just some knock? Where are these found at the dollar store?
I'm guessing, but there is.
The problem
Batman.
Is that's too close to Batman. That logo, that's
up at the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These look like they basically were like they got messed up at the factory, and so they just were like, here, you can put them in whatever packaging you want. We don't give a damn.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a live and interactive broadcast. What does that mean?
What the hell was that? We want your comments. We want your questions. We want everything. It sometimes sends the show all in crazy directions.
In chaos.
Chaos ensues.
So, you been following wrestling lately?
Yeah.
Not going to talk about it too much. I'm only bringing it up because I'm drinking a Steve Weiser.
Oh, there you go.
That appears to be spilling all over the place.
Just like Stone Cold.
Evidently. Woo! I'm drinking a IPA tonight. Broken Skull Ranch.
I got a couple. So like I went to the store the other day and they actually had I think it was was it postseason box or was it something? Oh, hey, look, it's Jimmy.
Good evening, Jimmy.
But they had this I think it was postseason box or something like that. Basically, it's Sam Adams dead again. They got a couple, for the big game. They have a postseason IPA, Red Zone Lager, Breakaway Blonde Ale, and then they just had Cold Snap in there. So I've had Cold Snap before, which is good. But
well, and since you brought it up, something that I would like to do, if you are on board, pulled up a list of some prop bets for the Super Bowl, and since that is this Sunday,
yes,
and we're just I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna say, okay, here's the prop bet. Here's the options. Which one are you going with? And we won't do me as well. We'll just do you and see. I've got a tally sheet, and so we'll be able to look at how you did.
All right.
All right. So
I'm going to try this. I'm going to start with this postseason IPA. So
postseason IPA coming in hot.
Yeah.
How long will the national anthem be in seconds? 90 and a half, over 90 and a half seconds, or under 90 and a half seconds?
That's always tough because I don't know who's singing the national anthem. But if
let's see, this year I'm looking it up. Give me just a moment. Reba McEntire.
Oh, Reba. Okay. So 90 and a half seconds.
Over or under?
Reba McEntire. 90 and a half. What's it? That's a
minute and a half plus a half second. Man, if it's going to take you this long,
sorry,
there's 21 items on here.
Yeah, over.
Okay. What will be the result of the coin flip, heads or tails?
Heads.
Will the opening kickoff result in a touchback?
Yes.
What will be the result of the opening drive? Touchdown, field goal, punt, or other?
Punt.
What will be the first turnover of the game? A fumble, an interception, or turnover on downs?
Interception.
Which team will score first? The 49ers or the Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Which team will reach 10 points first?
Niners.
Which quarterback will throw the first passing touchdown?
Mahomes.
Will either team score in the final 2 minutes of the first half?
Yes.
How many songs will Usher perform at halftime? Over or under 8.5?
Oh, man. Let's go under 8.5.
Will Ludacris make an appearance at halftime?
Let's hope so.
I mean, you can't do a halftime performance by Usher Baby without doing Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't do Yeah without having Luda.
And I mean, and Little John's probably going to be around. Little John has to be in town.
How many players will attempt a pass? 2.5, over or under?
What?
How many players will attempt a pass? So there's two quarterbacks, right? So
so yeah, because I was
so
like,
they're saying, will someone else ultimately attempt to pass? So will it be over 2.5?
oh,
or
I got you. Okay,
or will a substitute
they're
quarterback have to come in?
they're gonna, yeah, they're gonna. There's probably end up being there'll probably end up some kind of trick play where somebody else passes. So yeah, I'm gonna go with, excuse me, yeah,
over or under?
Over.
Okay. Will there be a missed field goal? Yes or no?
Oof. No.
Yeah, and bear in mind the question is specific to field goal, not extra point tries.
Yeah.
Who will finish with more passing yards, Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes?
I'm gonna have to go with Mahomes.
Who will finish with more rushing yards, Christian McCaffrey or Isaiah Pacheco?
McCaffrey.
Who will finish with more receiving yards, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, or Travis Kelce?
Ooh. What were those choices again?
Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, or Travis Kelce?
I think I'm gonna have to go with. I think I might have to go with Deebo.
Who will win Super Bowl 58?
Going with the Niners.
How many points will be scored? 47, over or under?
Over. Wait, 47. Yeah, over.
So you think it's going to be a high-scoring game?
I think so. I'm hoping so.
What Gatorade color will be poured on the winning coach? Orange, blue, red, or other?
Orange, blue, yellow, or other?
Yellow is not an option.
Oh.
Orange, blue, red, or other?
Oh, orange, blue, red. Orange, blue, red, or other. Orange.
Okay. Who will win Super Bowl MVP? Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, or other?
Other.
Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift after the game?
He better not.
Is that your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We've got your 21. Okay, that's weird. Whoever created this form made a mistake. When I click no into that Travis Kelce Taylor Swift question, it auto-populates yes. So that's weird. Anyways, I am going to download and save this. So next week we will take a look and see how you did.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Ursher. This is probably the most I've been excited for a halftime in a while.
Well, you didn't. I was excited for. I was excited. What was that last year with Dr. Dre? Oh no, that was Rihanna last year. The year before,
2 years ago.
Yeah, Dr. Dre.
I was, but I also didn't know because at the time they didn't say who all was going to be in it.
Well, no, because they had those little shorts.
It was like right before that we found out that it was going to be, and like Kendrick Lamar, I was not hyped up for. And so it was like a week before or so that they finally said it was going to be Mary J, Kendrick Lamar, Snoop, and Dre, and they didn't say M or 50.
Well, no, they had those little commercials that were like they were going to be there. That like Snoop, I remember seeing like little commercials where like Snoop was, we knew Dre was going to be there, of course, and then it was Snoop. I think M had one like towards the end of him leaving.
Don't get me wrong, it was a great performance. I'm just saying I wasn't as hyped prior to it as I am.
Oh, okay, I got you. I was really excited for that one.
I will say in like retrospect, I do think that performance was a slight letdown because there was one thing they really could have and probably should have done, and that was an NWA reunion.
Well, I don't. I just didn't see. That's unlikely.
I know. I'm just saying. But either way, I think Ursher is going to put on a hell of a halftime. The guy can dance, can sing, can. What do we got there? Apple chips, cinnamon apple chips.
Yeah, and this is
Your camera's garbage, so I don't know what the other. Maybe it looks good for other people. I don't know.
Oh.
Caramel apple chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had the cinnamon ones before, so I'm gonna.
And I have Doritos Ultimate Cheddar. This was a limited edition, Super Bowl release chip. I literally got the last bag at Sam's Club.
Oh, wow.
Woo! It smells of cheddar.
It's cheddary.
Oh.
All right. Ooh. Damn, it smells like caramel. But again, this is one of those, like, this was the bag. And now, this is where the chips actually start. Good to go? Good for business?
Yeah, man. It's it's interesting. So I like Doritos generally because of it's got a little bit of spice to it, but very little normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has absolutely no spice to it. It's like they took the Doritos chip with just a bunch of cheddar powder. So it's almost like eating a cheese ball, but it's in chip form.
I'm not horribly disappointed. I wouldn't be horribly disappointed about that.
Oh, I'm gonna eat it, and I like it. It's just the Doritos makes it sound like it's going to taste like Doritos, but maybe with extra cheesy flavor or something.
It's just Doritos brand, right?
Yeah,
I don't think they have any. Is there any unseasoned Dorito?
Originally, yes. I will remind you that Doritos originally started. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Fritos started at Disneyland. Doritos originally did not have like a seasoning to them. They were just a tortilla chip, and then they became taco flavored or nacho flavored. But originally, they were just a regular tortilla chip, and that was it.
Interesting. I don't remember that. When did those come out?
Let's see. Uh, 1966.
Okay.
Doritos were released, and they were the first tortilla chip to be launched nationally in the United States.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. I was right. It was the Doritos. Okay, in 1955, not long after Disneyland opened in Anaheim, California, the Frito-Lay snack company opened Casa de Fritos, a Mexican-style restaurant in Disneyland's Frontierland. Casa de Fritos got its tortillas from Alex Foods, a local tortilla factory. One day, a salesman from Alex Foods noticed that Casa de Fritos was dumping stale tortillas in the trash. He gave them a tip. Instead of trashing the stale tortillas, cut them up and fry them. Sometime later, Archibald Clark West, a marketing executive for Frito-Lay, stopped by the Casa de Fritos and encountered the repurposed snack. He fell in love with them, contacted Alex Foods to produce them, and in 1964, the Dorito was born. By 1966, Doritos rolled out nationally, and our Pavlovian love affair with cheese powder was born. By that time, Alex Foods was out of the game, and Doritos became Frito-Lay production.
Nice.
So yes, literally, they just took the leftover tortillas, cut them up, fried them, and that was it. And then eventually, they started adding powder or seasoning.
The more you know.
And today when you think about tortilla chips,
Doritos doesn't come to mind.
and Disneyland
It
doesn't
doesn't
come
come
to
to
mind.
mind. Yeah. Gotta let them
And
know.
again, this is a live interactive broadcast, which means
Red
chat
Zone
with us.
Logger.
Send us messages. Let us
Uh,
know.
Jimmy's been Jimmy has he gave his prop bets too.
Oh, okay. Well, you weren't sharing those, James, and you're the one responsible for the chat today.
Sorry, I was focused on me. But he says under 90 seconds for Reba. He says you got to answer.
You got to
in less
answer
nights.
unless
I think that was for the result of the first play or whatever, the first drive. Said the first turnover. I think I don't remember if that was winner or whatnot, or who's going to score first. I think that was who's going to score first. Who's going to have more passing yards? Purdy. I don't remember what the no was for. But I think the under was for the quarterbacks or who attempt to pass or whatever.
That's why it helps to show these at the time.
Yeah, he says he's hoping for a tie. Was that on there?
I'm not sure which one that's in reference to.
The over under over under.
Well, they didn't have it as a half point. They had it as 47, so it could be a tie.
Oh, okay. But the game's going to have to go into. Is that the end of regulation? Is it
no? So with the prop bet, if you said, over 47, but it ended up being 47, you lose.
No, but I'm saying if. Never mind. He's saying a tie, and the tie Super Bowl can't end in a tie. It has to have a winner. Anyway, he says orange Gatorade, and let's see. These other ones I'm not sure about, but it doesn't. He said kinda, LOL, and who will win?
I'm going with the Chiefs, by the way, just to be clear.
Oh,
you are going with the Niners.
I think this was for. Will Travis Kelce propose?
And Jimmy doesn't want either.
He doesn't want either of them to win. Who's your team, Jimmy? Do you have a football team?
Well, he's from Florida, so I'm thinking he's going with the same as you. Jacksonville Jaguars.
You from Jacksonville?
And if I recall correctly, that's who he had on his profile pic for a while. But I'm sure. I'm sure
yeah. Duval.
So, James, did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I saw that poster. They've been talking about Beetlejuice 2 for quite some time.
So Michael Keaton's back. Winona Ryder's back.
Oh. You lived there? That's cool.
Yeah, he moved. Yeah, Jimmy's in Jacksonville.
And then he says, my older brother still lives in Jacksonville. All right. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, but I know, yeah, so I heard everybody was, Michael Keaton was back, Ryder was back. I don't know who else is in it.
Any interest?
I like Beetlejuice. I'm interested. I've been waiting. I mean, I thought this movie was going to come out a couple years back, but I guess things got held up. But I'm excited for it. I like Beetlejuice.
So, is the title of the film Beetlejuice 2024 AD?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it could be, but I think it was just Beetlejuice.
So do you think that insinuates that they're going to do a third one?
Maybe. I mean, how long ago? Like, when did Beetlejuice came out in the 80s, right? Right.
Yeah.
88.
Let's see.
87, 88?
88, March
Yeah.
30th of 88.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember seeing Beetlejuice in theaters. I was a little kid, but
Yeah, it does appear, according to IMDb, that it is titled Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
yeah. And Jimmy, of course, he says no interest with Beetlejuice without a trailer. So,
and it does look like some of the cast is Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega,
okay.
Monica Bellucci, William Dafoe, Catherine O'Hara, Justin Theroux.
So she's back.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So we'll see. I haven't seen a trailer yet. I heard one is supposed to be coming soon.
Yeah, maybe they'll drop it there. They'll probably drop that during the Super Bowl.
Probably. I have seen some stills, so something's got to be coming. However, we did get an actual official, rather than a teaser, we got a trailer for the new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Did you see this?
I saw that.
So Bill Murray is back.
Yep.
Which is always great to see. Ernie Hudson, of course, is there. Dan Aykroyd's in the trailer. Annie Potts is in the trailer. What I want to know...
That's the one that was what's her name, right? The redhead worked at the desk. I can't remember her name.
Yes. The only one that I want to know, what will get me to this film, is if someone can confirm whether Rick Moranis is in it. If Rick Moranis is in this film, I will go see it.
I'll go see it regardless.
And James, I'm getting complaints from the audience about you smacking your lips on your food, so maybe you could calm down instead of just like a friggin' monkey or something.
Wow, really?
Hey! That's not a race thing, and you know it. That's how monkeys eat. So are you interested in seeing this? I truth be told, I haven't seen the last one. Yeah,
I have it.
Okay.
It's on my Vudu, but there should be on my Vudu.
Okay.
I really enjoyed Afterlife, and so when I saw, I didn't know if they were going to do anything else, and so I'm glad to see that they're doing a sequel to it.
Okay, so is Afterlife a sequel to Ghostbusters 2 or to the female version of Ghostbusters?
It's the Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, so
so it's the sequel to Ghostbusters 2, and it ties back to Ghostbusters 1 matter. To Ghostbusters.
I understand that, but so are they basically saying that the female Ghostbusters never happened?
I don't know, I guess. I mean, I think the what was it called? Ghostbusters Answer the Call. I believe that's the full title of that film. I believe that was the first movie, like kind of. No, it wasn't the first movie rehashed. It was kind of the first movie rehashed, but a little bit different, and with women, of course, because they got the hearse at the end of the film from her uncle, who was played by Ernie Hudson.
So, in essence, that film is he's trolling again.
And then and Jimmy said
it shouldn't have existed in the first place.
I mean, I didn't mind it. It wasn't like horrible. I kind of liked the cast because it was pretty much like a Saturday Night Live film at that point. And looks like Shannon's checking in. In any right and true world, that would never happen.
And speaking of Shandon at StoryLink Radio, just throwing a plug out there, Casablanca will be a retelling of the story in audio format being done over at StoryLink Radio.
Oh, nice.
Shandon, feel free to plug away. date and time, but you can head over to youtube.com/StoryLinkRadio to see the trailer and hear the sultry sounds of Shandon Loring's voice, who I believe will probably be the primary one retelling this story.
That's kind of cool.
Speaking of shout outs, so I don't know if you were keeping up on the Grammys, but our boy, friend of the show, John Williams, another Grammy award.
Man, bro, this guy, I like John Williams is one of those people I so want to meet, because I just want to know, like, how do you come up with this stuff? Like he is responsible for some of the most iconic music in movie history.
You know what's crazy? This guy is still not an EGOT.
It doesn't surprise me.
He is a Tony short of an EGOT.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, there's no unless they turn, and the only way I can see him getting a Tony is if they turn one of those shows into a musical. And I know, well, I mean, Hans Zimmer could become or is it Hans Zimmer? Yeah, they did Back to the Future. Yeah, Hans Zimmer. He could become an EGOT if, for some reason, Back to the Future musical wins something.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, John Williams did Fiddler on the Roof, the movie.
Yeah.
When that came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
And he won the Oscar for that.
Right.
So it's not like he hasn't worked on musicals before.
But I don't think, but that was after it had already been after it been on Broadway?
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't really that he.
What I'm saying is he very easily could work on a musical production to get the Tony.
I guess he could, but I mean, he's got Oscars. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess maybe you want that last one to get into the exclusive club.
Yeah, and to be clear, John Williams only has 5 Oscars and has been nominated 53 times.
How dare you? Academy, how dare you? This man deserves so many more. I don't even know what they're all for, so I can't.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. He does definitely deserve.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry. He says it's going to be February 15th at 7 p.m. Woohoo! And singing? Are you singing, Shandon?
Interesting.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
Oh, hey Shandon. Back to that. Is that going to be available on in podcast form, or is it just I have to watch it live? I'll wait for his response. Anyways, we can move on.
So just to be clear, the things that John Williams has won Oscars for, Fiddler on the Roof was actually his first one.
Okay.
Then Jaws.
Yep. That's
Star Wars.
That's the main thing.
Best original score. So it was probably
whole film. Okay.
Yes. E.T. The Extraterrestrial.
He says, oh, sorry, just real quick.
Just like Dooley.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's a song in the film.
Okay, and then yes, available later too. So it will be available on in podcast format for anybody that misses it. And here's Jeff again.
By the way, I have more Grammys than Beyonce. Suck it, Jay-Z.
Stupid. She doesn't watch the show, unfortunately. She does. Hey, Bia. Hey, Queen B.
Getting back to what matters in John Williams.
Right.
So he won Best Original Score for Schindler's List.
Yeah, I remember that one. Oh, so you said
And
E.T. So we're
and
at,
then of course just now he got his 6th with Indiana
so
Jones.
Fiddler, Jaws, Star Wars, E.T., Schindler's List, and Dial of
Now
Destiny.
now
Well,
Indiana
just
Jones. Yes.
what was it? Helen's theme.
Yes,
Okay.
specifically. Do you want to hear some of the things he didn't win for?
Yeah,
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
that's very. That is odd.
Superman.
Okay, I'm not too upset. I mean, like, yeah, the music is pretty iconic, but again, not too
Empire Strikes Back.
interesting.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Very interesting.
Return of the Jedi.
Okay, not yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Okay, it's weird. Yeah, I would think he would. Yeah,
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I can kind of understand that one.
Home
Kinda?
Alone.
Oh, I can kind of understand that one too.
Saving Private Ryan.
Very interesting.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, I forgot he did music for that, honestly, but yeah, he did.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't think Harry Potter.
the
Harry
three
Potter
se-
didn't win anything as far as Oscars go, anyways, right? I mean, maybe a visual.
No, it's never won. It's never won a single. 8 films, no awards. Star Wars, the 3 sequel trilogy, all 3 of them were nominated. None of them won.
Wait, like the most
Force
recent
Awakens, Last
Oh,
Jedi,
okay.
and Rise of Skywalker.
Interesting. So none of the prequels, huh?
Well, technically, none. Yeah, it looks. I don't know if he didn't. I no, he did the music. You would, yeah. To that point, I would have expected to see, at the very least.
Revenge of the Sith.
No, I was actually going to
Phantom Menace?
say Phantom Menace for.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, that fight song.
The Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates.
Bro, that's actually really surprising.
Yeah, that is to me one of the best pieces of Star Wars music that there is.
Here it is. He said, Shannon said that Dolly Wilson sang "As Time Goes By" in the movie.
There we go.
Very good.
And just to round out John Williams, he's won 3 Emmys, 4 Golden Globes. Oh wow!
Emmys for what?
4, 5, 6 Emmys for Heidi, Jane Eyre, and great performances.
Okay, so those were all
1969, 1972, and 2009.
So all the special the TV specials got
it. His Golden Globes were for Jaws, Star Wars Episode 4, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and Memoirs of a Geisha.
Interesting.
His Grammy Awards, man, this one's huge. So the things that he's won for: Jaws, Star Wars main title, Star Wars theme from the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
There you
go. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Superman main title theme, Superman. The Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Flying theme from E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The Olympic fanfare and theme,
yes,
written by John Williams.
Yes, I have copies of that. So
Schindler's List. Here's another one that he's never won anything for that is surprising. Jurassic Park. Going back to some things he's won for: Saving Private Ryan, Memoirs of a Geisha, Munich. I'm sorry, not Munich. It was a song from the movie Munich called "A Prayer for Peace." Let's see what else. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. He won a Grammy for. Star Wars: Galaxy's Edge Symphonic Suite. He won, and I didn't.
Nice.
And then, of course,
I know he did that. I know he did the music for it. But.
And then, of course, Helena's theme from Indiana Jones.
That's crazy. Yeah. Jurassic. He doesn't have anything for Jurassic Park.
Nope.
That is.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
I
is downright
totally.
blasphemy.
Yeah, that man, no one will ever replicate the breadth and depth of his work.
Oh no, I mean, and the only one that even comes close right now is Hans Zimmer, and then after that, it's just like kind of scattered. There is a guy that's I want to say his name is Giovanni something or other. He's actually done he's kind of been doing a lot of little stuff throughout time, and so his breadth of work will probably end up being pretty big. But the fact of the matter is that I mean, I don't. Yeah, John Williams. Nobody will ever have the library that man has, and the music that is formed so many memories for so many people.
Well, and
Is that man?
just to be clear, from a comparison standpoint, Academy Awards for Hans Zimmer, 12 nominations, 2 wins, one for The Lion King and one for Dune. He has, or appears to have, he has 3 Golden Globes, Lion King, Gladiator, and Dune.
Oh, yes, right.
He has 4 Grammy Awards. Best Musical Album, Lion King, for children. The Circle of Life specifically, and then Crimson Tide. And then, I forgot he did The Dark Knight.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan, yeah.
But he does not have any Emmys. And he has a Tony nomination, but
for what?
Not a Tony. Lion King.
Oh. Wait, Hans Zimmer did music for The Lion King?
Yes. Best original score, Hans Zimmer. But he did not win.
I thought it was Alan Menken.
And
Elton John.
I don't believe so, but Elton John sang.
Well, I know Elton John sang, but I thought like that was all Alan Menken and what's his bucket?
I believe they did the songs, but the score, which is the music that's throughout, that is not sung. Did you see this commercial? This is a Super Bowl commercial that Paramount Plus already released.
No.
You didn't see this commercial? I posted it on our page a couple days ago.
I didn't see it, no.
It is absolutely amazing, absolutely hilarious. This is probably one of the best things I've seen in a long time. The basic premise is they're trying to climb up this mountain, if you will.
Right.
And they've got I can't remember his name, from the quarterback from the Dolphins, and he's trying to throw a hook up.
Yeah, Tua.
Yes. And he says, if only I had a football, I could do it. And Patrick Stewart, also known as Picard, says, well, what if you had something football shaped? And proceeds to grab Arnold's head. And there's this back and forth amongst all these characters of, you can't throw the kid. And Patrick Stewart's like, I will do it. And he takes off his coat, and underneath he's got like a 1920s football uniform. He puts on a leather skull cap, proceeds to grab Arnold and try to throw him like a football to the top of this mountain. Doesn't make it. Arnold gets almost to the very top, but he smacks into the wall and kind of comes screeching down. And then he proceeds to say, if only I had something made out of pigskin. And everybody looks at Peppa Pig.
Yo. Dang. I'll watch that.
Yes. So I highly recommend going and watching this. It was a great trailer, or a great commercial. It almost made me want to go get Paramount Plus just because of how good it was. I'm not going to, but almost. And did you see the new electrical sky parade?
No, I didn't. I heard about this. I didn't watch it.
Are you not following our page?
No, I follow the page. It's just that some of the stuff I'm just not watching all the way through, just because like this one, the commercial I did miss. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't, most of the time I don't watch these right away. I go watch them later. Like I don't watch just because I just don't. But I did hear about this show.
So it is basically in the entirety. It's about 9 minutes long, just shy of 10 minutes, uh, and it is pretty awesome. Like I would say this almost sells me on making the trek to Paris to go see this, just to see this. It,
Drones,
it's drones, but it's more than that. There is
fireworks, and
some
stuff as well.
amazing. There's a little bit of fireworks, but it's mostly the visuals that they throw up on the castle as well.
Yeah.
Are quite amazing. So unless you're planning to go to Paris, I would definitely recommend giving this a watch. Because I suspect you're not going to Paris anytime soon.
All right.
So I think you would probably highly enjoy it. Switching gears, but staying in the Disney universe over to Star Wars. So they're releasing an Ahsoka comic book that basically follows the story of the Ahsoka series. What do you think?
I guess.
Yeah, I don't really ever understand this, and this is something I've seen happen before. And maybe Jimmy can speak to this from Pop Culture Kaboom because he's very much a big comic fan guy, and I don't see the premise of taking a film and then turning it into a comic. Or taking a television series and turning it into a comic, unless you're going to flesh
Gonna
out
continue.
stuff.
Yeah,
Or,
there might be more. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is they might be putting some more information in there. They might be, it might be just for the visuals because I mean, like this cover looks pretty dope.
yeah, I mean, I like the way the cover looks, but if there's nothing, if it's literally just following the story of the series and there's not much new additional content or anything like that, then I guess I just don't see the value. And you know me, I'm a big value guy. I don't mind spending money if I'm going to get my money's worth.
Right.
I just you seem to be very preoccupied tonight.
Sorry, I just this whole thing, that whole Hans Zimmer thing threw me, and so about the Lion King, and so I just went, yeah, okay, I see it now. I remember watching like having the soundtrack, and I just don't remember seeing Hans Zimmer on there. Maybe I just missed it, but yeah. Jimmy says this.
If it's a limited series, if it's an adaptation of the series, so if someone likes the comic, it'll spur interest in the next season.
As all comes down to dollar bills, y'all.
Speaking of dollar bills, you got an Oak Bridge update for us?
Yeah. We're moving right along. We're almost done. I have multiple characters that are already done, but my first main character is almost completely done. And then we still have quite a bit of recording to do, but we're chugging right along, baby.
Well, starting next week, it slows down quite a bit. I mean, you are going to have to plug in. You had some people get sick or whatever, so
I've had some sickness. I've had some technical issues, but overall, like I said, we're moving right along. I finally figured out how to combine multiple spreadsheets, which is nice. So I have that for my keeping up with my recordings.
So do you think you're still going to hit that February 29th cutoff date to be 100% recorded?
I believe so.
That's awesome. So theoretically,
sorry, this one too. Jimmy, I missed this one.
They've made way too many comic book adaptations of movies. Agreed. Yeah. I don't understand the point.
I haven't seen one for Jurassic Park. I wouldn't mind seeing
that. And they are making another Jurassic World, by the way. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, I heard, but I wasn't too sure if that was like legit or not.
It sounds like it is.
Yeah, but it's apparently that's so. What was it? Fallen Kingdom, and then Dominion. Apparently, that was it for Bryce Dallas and Chris Pratt. So it looks like this this new movie is going to be new people, all together. So at least from what the early thing I read.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard things that Spielberg's going to get more involved, and that they're going to try and shift it back to being more true to the originals.
Well,
I don't know.
it's too late. I mean, you already, well, it's not too late, but you've already released them. You've released them out in the world. You have captured some, and you put many of them are now in Switzerland, wherever that, like, where that guy was making the place to keep the dinosaurs. So they're there, but they're kind of they got free roam of that area. And if they hopefully they turn that beacon back on, so the big flying pterodons and stuff can't fly out of the area. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. See what happens.
So we've got some KaboomCon news.
Kaboom!
We have procured and have a placeholder up in place for KaboomCon.com.
What?
So quite literally, it is spelt KaboomCon.com.
KABOOMCON.
And again, I reiterate, this is a placeholder just to get something up there and out there. But it does exist. It is real. There is, here's information where you could go buy tickets, but it is pretty. I am not a web designer, folks. If there's somebody out there that's willing to volunteer and help us out to make this thing awesome, get all of our vendors on here.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah, I'm willing to provide you passes to KaboomCon and maybe even a booth. But yeah, that is not my forte. I apologize. But with that being said, speaking of booths, we only have 3 left. We have no 8x5s.
Done.
We have no regular 10x10s.
Done.
All that is left is 3 10x10s with power.
So they're a little bit more.
Just a little bit. I mean,
worth it because you get power.
Power. You're going to have power. You've got the power of potentially a few thousand people coming to this thing.
Boom.
What do we got there?
Breakaway Blondale.
Breakaway Blondale. Very good. We're hoping to see a few thousand people at this thing. We're hoping. We know we've got over 50 vendors, between vendors, artists, things of that nature. I've started putting the schedule together for the main stage where we'll have the Reno Video Game Symphony coming.
That's awesome.
We will have the cosplay parade of costumes, if you will. We're gonna have a Murphy's Inc. panel.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a dynamic duo Iriartes panel. We're gonna have a live pop culture kaboom.
Dropping live.
It's gonna be something, man. So, but with that, the reason that we're full up pretty much, aside from 3 powered 10x10s, is because we got some new vendors.
What?
Y'all ready for this? Berry Milk Tea. So I was confused at first because I was like, is this a food vendor? But it is not a food vendor. Berry Milk Tea, they do, well, t-shirts. So yeah, I love their logo. It's cute. Makes me hungry a little bit. Not gonna lie, I am fat after all.
Strawberries.
So yes, Berry Milk Tea. Go check out their page if you are interested. Give me just a second. They have an Etsy store. They do handmade goods made by the person who signed up and their brother, ranging from art tumblers, glass cups, mugs, crochet plushies, keychains, totes, bags, and so much more.
Crochet plushies.
Yes.
That's a labor of love.
Right? Right? Next up, this one, I love the look of this booth, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is a much larger booth than what they're going to have for us. They're going to have a 10 by 10. But this is Indie Press Revolution.
Nice.
And I don't know if you can tell by the image, but it's mostly a lot of games, board games, some books, tabletop games, things of that nature. So Indie Press Revolution,
Nice.
according to what they submitted to us, I'm going to give them the proper plug. IndiePressRevolution.com, independently published tabletop role-playing and storytelling games.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Next up, we've got N.J. Hansen, author of fantasy, paranormal, and horror. The booth name will be Ink Drop Press.
Okay.
Check out inkdropppress.wixsite.com.
What's it? He was at the other con, right?
He may have been. That does sound like a possibility.
Yeah.
He does independent books, keychains, stickers, T-shirts, posters. So, and then finally, grabbing the another booth, Fused Fiction Studio. I love some of this art. It combines cool backgrounds with foreground shadowed characters. You can see in this image of their booth, they were selling prints at that point for $15, buy two, get one free. So taking a look at what they say about their stuff, anime and pop culture art prints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It looks like Avatar is in there and Spider-Man and looks like some ninjas and Pokemon.
Yeah. So 4 new vendors coming in. I'm excited. This thing we're at a point where what we want and need now are some more food vendors.
Yeah.
I'm looking for ideally another 8 to 10 would be nice. But we do have 7 to date. So
yeah. So more food vendors, please. We want people to sign up for the art contest and the as well
cosplay
as
contest.
Cosplay contest. And then
we are looking for sponsors too.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to sponsor one of the contests,
by all means,
yeah,
sponsorship.
Sponsorship gets you some cool perks, benefits coming to the event and whatnot.
Coming to the event as well as we got banners that are being made with the logos and all that kind of stuff on there. So you'll be seen and your logos will be seen.
And we've got I can't go into details, but we've got some pretty big names still to announce that are coming.
We can't tell you yet, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the contracts haven't, the ink hasn't settled, so to speak. So once that happens, we'll be able to actually finally do some name dropping. But we've got some pretty cool people coming to this event. So and this is the first ever comic convention in the capital city of Nevada, Carson City.
Why not be at number 1, baby?
And this is our first go at it, right?
Yeah.
The 97 and Now Productions. We've never done anything like this, and like considering this is our first go at it, and it is huge. Massive already, and we're still, actually, as of today, 7 months out.
Get on it.
We are literally 7 months out. Tickets are on sale. You can buy them on Eventbrite. You can also get them through the KaboomCon website, kaboomcon.com.
KaboomCon. KaboomCon.com.
Don't give me crap about the website. I know it's a placeholder. I need some help. It's not my strong suit.
Listen, if you know anybody that is willing to, help out, helps brothers out, and at least give some pointers or whatnot, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Shannon says, "Go big or go home, y'all."
That's right. I'm still keep waiting for Shannon to sign up for the StoryLink Radio booth, but
Where
I
you
guess
at,
that's
bro?
not going to happen.
Where you at?
Shannon, you got time? You can run our website, right? If I give you the credentials, you can hook me up, make it look pretty, and get everything up there.
Make avatar links to make
I'm
avatars.
so what's good, man? What you been up to? How's work going?
It's work. We're gearing up for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's gonna be they're expecting it to be pretty crazy. I think I don't know if I told you guys. I don't know if I said it, but I overheard somebody talking like last week or something like that about the private planes coming in and that there's no place for them. We had so President Biden came into town and just it was cool that he was here, but like literally we didn't. So here's the crazy part. HMS hosts, the ones that run like the stores in there, they knew that he was coming, so they told their people about times in which he's supposed to be there. Customs knew about it. A lot of other people in the airport knew about it. You know who didn't know that he was coming into town?
TSA?
Yeah.
How do you guys not know? I knew, and I don't even live down there.
We didn't get that. We didn't get that report that he was coming. They knew the day before because they told other people. They didn't tell us. So like there's a bunch of us that were late because we didn't know like we were leaving at normal times. I left at my normal time and I was in traffic for over an hour trying to get into the airport. I think there needs to be some kind so we can show a badge and they let us at least get through or something. But it was oh my God. And it's like, how do you not let us know? Because if that was the case, I would have left earlier. The next day they did tell us, oh, he's going to be leaving between this time and this time. And so, I made sure to plan appropriately and left early and I got to work on time. Actually, I got to work early, but I was on time. So I was like, bro, how do you not let everybody I was like, I don't care about Starbucks. Like, who cares? Like, they don't need they need to know, yes, because they need to get to work. But like, we need to know.
You're I believe making an assumption that Homeland Security, which is the department you work for, was not informed, and I don't know how accurate that is.
I'm not saying they weren't informed. I'm telling you, we as TSA officers weren't informed.
So you weren't. That doesn't mean that
no
wasn't.
No, apparently leadership wasn't. Leadership didn't. Or at least our immediate supervisors didn't know. Like that, because otherwise they would have told us. But like there was apparently like one guy called in earlier in the day and was like, oh, okay, like, I'll put you down. Like they didn't even know. Or like apparently like the coordination center didn't know. And then when I called, they were like, oh yeah, the president's landing or whatever. And I was like, ugh, okay, now it makes sense. But I absolutely saw some of the worst driving ever that day in traffic. Because people are just dumb and impatient. Like it was like I was getting irritated by watching these people drive. Like, because I was sitting at a light, I couldn't go through it because there was no room for me to go through, even though it changed green. But I was, I'm waiting, but I'm watching these people drive and they're turning, blocking a lane that they can't go anywhere in. People making I saw a truck make a turn from not even a turn lane. I saw there was a cab that was next to me in the far right lane this was on the road on the street, but he was in the far right lane and he moved to the left lane. And I was like, bro, you can't go anywhere. Like, why did you even his car is just in the middle of the road. I'm like, bro, what are you guys doing? It's so irritating. But yeah, sorry.
Evidently. So I got to tell you. So, and I'm going to tell you mostly because Daryl hasn't chimed in. So I'm guessing he's not here. So I can tell this story about work. So Daryl has made the mistake of, chiming in about when I tried to start talking about work. So guess what I did at work? Well, so I've told you that I'm kind of, helping to lead this team
Right.
that is tasked with a specific
Right.
thing to do. Well, the problem is within this team, it's a lot of high level functioning people in the state at high level positions. And while we're having conversations, there's a lot of good conversations, a lot of good dialogue. We're kind of making decisions and things of that nature. But the problem is we don't have anybody there actually documenting it.
Oh,
And
damn.
And so I kind of mentioned to my boss, hey, it would probably be helpful for us to have somebody in there to take notes and really be able to be what we call a scribe.
I want a
And
stenographer.
and he said, well, what about this person? He recommended somebody, and I was like, no, you know what? You know who I think would be really good is Daryl. I think if you can spare him because he was working on something else, I said if you could spare him, I'd really appreciate to have Daryl because he does take really good notes, and I think it would be useful. And occasionally, and the big thing is, I need somebody who's going to take notes that's not going to necessarily want to be engaged in the conversation by talking. Like I need somebody who's going to pay attention, take notes, and whatnot.
But Daryl's that guy.
Well, I thought that would be the case, and so Daryl got volunteered, so to speak, for the position, or voluntold, if you will. And the first day or two he was in there, he'd ask a question to make sure he was putting the note properly or whatever. But then he started getting involved and started and it's okay. He hasn't gotten involved in any way that's detrimental or negative. But he was complaining about, getting tasked with doing this. And I said, oh, well, you can blame me for that. Because, I thought, why shouldn't you get to enjoy in this fresh hell that I deal with?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So, I like Daryl. I enjoy Daryl, hanging out with Daryl. We've gone out for drinks a couple times after work. He's a good guy, good people, and but yeah, don't cross me because then I'll make you come be the scribe for my team.
Dang, Daryl, what'd you do, bro?
You got anything fun or exciting coming up? What do you got going on tomorrow? Tomorrow's your day off as well.
Got more recordings to do. I'm gonna try.
There's a big event happening tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and watch the press conference, the WrestleMania 40 press conference.
So the WrestleMania 40 press conference, which WrestleMania 40 is taking place in Philadelphia, but they're having this press conference in Las Vegas. Why do you think that is?
They're probably going to announce that 41, which is really weird. Okay, because if this happens, which pretty sure it's going to happen, that means that 31, which I went to, which was right after, which was in Santa Clara, we went to. Clarify that we went to was right after 30. So I'm getting I'm always the one right after the big one. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, they're always big ones.
No, I'm saying, but the 30, the 40, the 30. I got 31 and 41. Like, come on.
I mean, next year's going to be the one with CM Punk.
Right. So, I mean, that's key. Anyways, but yeah. Anyway, so, I saw that. I know I was like, I'd like to go, but recording, I got to get that done. But I am doing on Saturday night. I'm going to see Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer at the MGM Grand. So
Nice. So you were able to get somebody to cover that shift, and
Yeah, so I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in for a couple hours to start the shift, and then she's gonna come in to finish my shift so I can go to the show.
that's
And
cool.
yeah, so I mean, I like both of their stuff that I've heard and seen on Netflix and things like that. So like I saw that they were coming, and I was like, man, I'd really like to go. I didn't know how much tickets were gonna be, and tickets weren't actually too bad. I was able to get one ticket, um, and it was cheap as far as like tickets go in Vegas. So I was like, I gotta go. Like I was trying to find somebody that could cover my shift, and she said yes, she would cover my shifts, the rest of my
So,
shift. So
just out of curiosity, how many micro friendships do you think you're going to have while you're there?
I don't know. We'll see. Cause I mean, like I'm kind of in the middle. There's like 3 seats and then me and then like the rest of the row. A guy that I work with, he's going, and him and his wife, I believe. And they're in the row like in front of me, but they're like a little bit over. So we said I talked to him, and we were like talking about possibly meeting up, getting a drink or something beforehand, maybe hanging out a little bit and then going to the show, you know. So yeah, I'm just really excited because I haven't been to a like I've never been to like a big it's not even really that. I mean, it's a good size arena, but I've never been to like an arena comedy show. So this will be my first. This will be my first one.
Yeah, I can't say that I've been to one, and that's probably got to be an interesting feeling because you go to a comedy club and you've got 100, maybe 200 people in there laughing with you, versus in something like this where you're going to have a few thousand people laughing with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like so it's the stage is in the middle. So it's like they're doing comedy in the round,
Comedy in
basically.
the round.
And so like so the reason, and even the reason that I was able, I decided I was going to go to is because I was like, oh, you know what, like the main thing is that yeah, they'll be on stage, and so I won't have great, because I'm upper deck, so I won't have great seats, but I'll be able to see them, and then they'll have the screens. So I'm like, oh, then I'm good. I don't I don't need to be down on the floor, all that kind of stuff. It'd be nice, yeah, don't get me wrong, like if somebody was like, hey James, we got tickets for you, got a ticket on the floor for you, I'd be like, oh, I don't. But like if but like just being able to kind of go and experience comedy with a bunch of people, that's what I'm excited for, because I haven't done that before. I've done the small shows and stuff like that, but I've never been in like a big arena for a comedy show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, one thing on my end, just we do a lot of stuff, you and me, between this show and Oakbridge and Murphy's and Kaboom Con, and
Yeah.
we do a lot of stuff, but and we have full-time jobs. I've got a wife and a kid.
Yeah.
And not to be too braggadocious, but I do got to put out there that I just finished my sophomore year of college.
Oh, nice.
So I am about to start on my junior year of college. I decided, a while back to go back to school, so to speak, and finally get that degree, if you will. And so while doing all of these other things, I am working through to get my my BS, as a matter of fact,
Bachelor's of Science
in business management. So
that was so you can like move up grades, right? Or not move up. Is that what it called?
I mean, initially when this whole thing first started, when I decided to go back to school, it was more or less for that purpose, because I had a very hard time with getting the state to recognize my private sector experience as relevant. Where if I had a degree, it kind of negates all of that, which makes no sense.
Makes zero sense. I trust work experience over paper experience any day.
Yeah, you won't get any argument from me on that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I was at the time I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm just gonna go back. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get it done. Whether it takes me, because the nice thing about the school that I'm doing it through, it is self-paced. So it's, if you could knock out a class in a couple of weeks, You can knock out a
Cool.
class in a couple of weeks. It's what they call competency based,
Nice.
rather than sitting in a class for X amount of hours, yada yada yada. It's how quickly can you understand this concept and present that you understand it.
Right.
So there are some classes that an entire college class, right, that I've knocked out in a matter of a couple days. And there's others that have taken me longer just because I need
You
to
gotta
study
absorb.
more.
Yeah, gotta absorb the information.
Yeah, like managerial accounting, for example, is one of the classes that I took, and it took me probably a week and a half because I already understand and do that stuff. Where, let's say, art appreciation, well, that took me a little bit longer because I'm not a big fan of like art and art styles and understanding what Rococo is and all of that stuff.
Deco.
Yeah, so I mean, I eventually got through it, and hey, as a matter of fact, in art appreciation, I got an A.
Oh, there you
So
go.
yeah, so all of this to say, not only am I doing this, but I am carrying a 3.39 GPA,
Good job, dude.
which I think is better than I did in high school, as a matter of fact. So
It's probably true, dude.
again, not trying to be too braggadocious, but
Hey, man.
I do a lot.
Bro.
Give yourself that pat back.
Or that back pat. The pat back. Yay.
Johnny Gargano and
So
Ciampa.
you are, correct me if I'm wrong. So Kaboom Con is September 7th, right?
Right.
But you are coming up to the Northern Nevada area the weekend before. Is that right? Is that still happening?
So I'll be
And
spending the week out there because I want to go to
the rib cook-off?
Want to go to the rib cook off. There's a my buddy
let's get some love from your wife,
Thank you, wife. Thank you.
and then from Jimmy, getting a little
Golf
clap.
claps. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
but no, yeah. So my buddy Rob does a Labor Day like carnival type deal out that way too. So I want to come check that out, support him, and then just kind of hang out the rest of the week and get ready for Kaboom Con.
KaboomCon.com. Yeah.
.com.
Absolutely. It's going to be a heck of a week. What I'm really curious to see is what you're going to do during the week, because I'm not taking the week off. I'm going to be working, and
No, you're
I assume you're going to be staying with us mostly. I don't know if you're going to stay with Rob and Marcy maybe for a couple of days or
maybe.
but yeah, we can definitely hang out, do some fun stuff. We'll do a Fat and Black Connection together.
Live show together.
The pre-Kaboom Con special, if you will.
Oh yeah, pre-Kaboom. Oh, you know what? In that case, we need to start. Oh man, we need to see if we can get some people that are going to be there to come on the show.
I'm more than happy. I mean, actually, you have a list of all of the vendors, and
Yeah,
so you
I'm
are.
about to start calling
Get some
people.
stuff scheduled, make it happen. I'm more than happy to have folks come on and talk about their business and what they do.
I think there's three people. There's three people that I think I'm gonna need to come. I'm gonna need to come on the show. There's three people, and I think you already kind of know what I'm talking about when I say these three people, but we'll see what happens.
Indeed. And of course, we've had Jimmy on before, so
Yeah.
Both of you in studio on Pop Culture Kaboom radio show.
So I think I'm
leaving the Sunday before.
Oh yeah, because I'm coming in on the Sunday. Yeah, so we could do Pop Culture. Yeah, we could do a lot. I could be there on Pop Culture Kaboom on that Sunday.
Fat and Black Connection meets Pop Culture Kaboom. This sounds like when the Flintstones meet the Jetsons.
Yo, classic. I love that movie. I used to watch that movie all the time. Yeah, the Sunday before? Oh, definitely. Oh, that's that. Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down. Yeah, I'm in.
I just got to clear it with the boss, but I assume she'll let it happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let it be.
But yeah, the Sunday before Kaboom Con. So I'd say let's pencil it in. That will definitely be an interesting show, Jimmy, having the Fat and Black Connection on the Pop Culture Kaboom. Because we've, of course, have had Jimmy on our show.
Yeah. Who's in the Stone still?
Well, that would be you, because you're on the radio, where we are live broadcasting to the millions
and millions. Hey, actually, yeah, because you've been on this show. You've been on a show. I've called into the show, but I've never actually been in studio. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
let's do that. I'm excited.
I've been a guest on the show for entire episodes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm totally down. Totally down.
That will be a very interesting experience. It'll be a party.
Yes, it will.
And James, we're working up to it, because some of these episodes we've been doing lately have been getting longer. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Because you got to remember, Pop Culture Kaboom. It's a 3-hour show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a nap before.
Yeah, it is a bit of a trek, man. It's just me and like 10 others. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we were talking about the millions.
Shut up, Jeff.
I don't think anybody asked for your opinion, Jeffrey.
Yeah, shut up.
Go put your stripes back on and ref a match or something.
Shut up, Jeff.
But yeah, I love the idea of you, me, and Jimmy on the radio. You got to remember, though, James, it is a radio. It is FCC regulated. So you can't say some of the things you say on here.
I haven't been bad lately.
I mean, last week I can point out 3 times that you would have gotten Jimmy in a lot of trouble.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So that can't happen. So.
Well, whatever. I mean, Jimmy, I'll do my best. I won't do my best.
No,
I will be 100% compliant.
Yes, because the last thing Jimmy needs is to get kicked off the air because of you. Luckily, they do have a dump button, so they do have the ability to. What happened to Tyrus? I think you scared him away, Jeff.
You're trolling, bro. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's called a dump button, and then or eat on the air.
So my tradition that I like to do when I go to do the Pop Culture Kaboom is I head down to the Carson City area a little bit before. I head to 7-Eleven and I grab myself some taquitos and something to drink, something to eat, and then I head down to the studio and I proceed to eat and those things in my car while I wait to go inside. And it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy going to do the show. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, didn't Mark get us all kicked off the air? Okay, hold on. While there is a bit of truth to that, really quickly, I'll tell the story for those that are here. And so
we have told the story before, probably.
I used to be on a television show called Video Newark. Now, this was cable access. It was a bi-weekly or weekly, I can't remember, live call-in. That's right, when you had landlines and you could call in to the radio station, or the television station, sorry. Yeah. And we would have topics that we would discuss. And we would engage with the community. They would call in and we'd talk kind of exactly what we do here. That's kind of, to me, the Fat and Black Connection really is a new version of Video Newark to an extent. Obviously, we don't have call-ins. We have people just shoot us their messages, their thoughts, and we read them or respond to them. But Video Newark very often had the ability to just kind of go off the rails. Roddy disappeared like Tyrus. Roddy, as a matter of fact, so Roddy was the producer of Video Newark. That guy had that show for well over a decade before I got involved. But Roddy is still, last I checked, working in Newark, California, where we were. He is a manager for the BJ's by New Park Mall. So if you're ever in Newark and have the opportunity to head over to BJ's Brew House, say hello to Roddy.
Ask for Roddy.
Yes, Hot Rod, Roddy. But anyways, I was on this show. I got involved in junior high, I think, because I used to like to watch the local cable access television channel. I thought there was some cool content on there, and so Roddy Video Newark was doing a 80s dance party. And so I decided to go, and I showed up, and I was there dancing all night throughout the length of the show. And I was like, hey, I want to get involved. I want to work on this. It interests me. And, oh man, I'm going over there just to say sup. Please do. Please do. I don't know what I thought, but I thought you were talking about New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. No, Newark, California.
California, baby.
And so ultimately, this guy Roddy said, "Well, hey, come in, when we do the next show, and we'll get you set up on learning how to do the cameras and yada yada." So I started learning the cameras. I eventually learned how to do the soundboard, answer the calls, how to do video with the is it Kion. And for me, my favorite part, of course, was being out in the studio and getting to really enjoy the show with the cameras while getting to help with it. And eventually I was given the opportunity to come on the air and co-host, and it kind of started working in a direction of me helping to really guide the show. Jeff eventually came on to work on the show. We had other guys, James Sugar Shack DeMac, who was involved with the show. Yes, Newark is also known as 20 miles to San Jose. James, you came, you worked on the show, you were on the show multiple times.
Yep.
It did kind of eventually. Mark brought all of his friends to come kind of work on this show.
Yeah.
We had Peanut involved. We had again.
Yeah, I remember the show. I remember one of the specific shows that I was on. We just ragged on him like the entire show. It was great.
So eventually, what happened is I was doing this show all throughout high school.
Yeah.
I graduated from high school. Our high school director, the late great Stephen Harrington, he had been the football announcer for all of the Newark Memorial home games.
Sorry, my bad. I hit something I didn't mean to on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had announced a number of games with H, and he kind of trained me, taught me how to do it.
Yeah, I was actually a spotter my freshman year for all the home games.
And so he kind of wanted to stop doing it. He wanted to step away, and so he recommended to the athletic director, Rich Swift. The name is an oxymoron, that's for sure. He was not Swift at all.
He used to be, like prior to
gaining about 3 people. Yes, this man, and again, rest in peace, Rich Swift, but massive. Had to ride around campus on a golf cart.
He didn't have to.
That was the whole premise of the show. Call up, make fun of whoever is hosting, and we get to clown on them. Yeah, I mean, to an extent. We did have a segment, Win a Date with the Hair Dog. That was my nickname back then, where I would say, okay, after the show, we're going to go to Lions, and any ladies that want to show up, I'll buy your meal or whatever. Rich Unswift, indeed. So I go to announce. Literally, this is my first football game where I am announcing the game, and I had my spotter, the great Joe JFQ, was with me, and I was doing it very much in the same style,
H did, right?
The same vein that H did it. Throwing out some boom shakalakas, throwing out, that was a massive hit, right? Just trying to have fun with it, keeping the focus on the game, but making it big and exciting. And for whatever reason, a local high school beat writer for the local newspaper decided to write an article on the game and talk crap about me as the announcer.
Look, how lame is your life when you are the high school sports beat reporter? Like, come on.
And how
bro.
lame is your life when you have nothing better to do than to write about the announcer
The
of a high
announce-
school
yeah.
sports?
Focus on the game, bro.
Yeah, this isn't Texas. This isn't Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
So anyways, this article comes out that kind of like doesn't even talk about the game as much as
just
it talks
dunked on
about
you,
me. Yeah. So
Just had a
H
hater,
calls
bro.
me. H calls me and he's like, "Hey man, what happened?" And I said, "H, you live at the time right behind the school. I am certain you could probably hear me." And he said, "Yeah, I didn't hear anything that I thought was too concerning." I said, "Me either. I'm not sure. I don't understand what's going on here." And he's like, "Well, hey, Rich Swift, the athletic director, kind of has asked if I could take back over." And I said, "That's fine, whatever. Like, I don't need this headache." So I decided to use Video Newark as my bully pulpit to kind of
I do remember that.
to lash back, if you will, at both Rich Swift and the newspaper.
Yeah, I was there
So
on that show. I was there for that show.
So I wrote a script in which I played Rich Swift, for example. We had different people playing me. We had different people playing Joe. Joe played the newspaper's beat writer.
You can say it. You can say it.
No, it's okay. It's probably defunct at this point. I don't even know.
They might have. I don't even know.
But of course, I played Rich Swift in the style of Eric Cartman. Yeah, and I had a bucket of fried chicken, and so was it over the top?
Yes.
Absolutely. Was it inappropriate?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Not to where what happened.
It was a satire. It was nothing
Yeah.
less than what an SNL sketch will be on a popular issue, right?
Right.
To me, that's what we did. I ran it through the producer, Roddy. I ran it through the station manager and said, "This is what I'm going to do," and everybody was fine with it. Roddy was even in the sketch.
Yeah,
he played. Roddy
one of the coaches, didn't he?
No, he played a. How do I say this? He played a high school kid that was Mexican wanting to play soccer. "Hey, coach, I'm ready to play football," but he had a soccer ball, and so that was part of the joke, right? And he was in it. So you would think if he had a problem with it, he wouldn't have been in it, right? So needless to say, we go live. We do this sketch. This is kind of how we opened the show, and then after that, we had the intro play, and then we got out of costume, if you will, and proceeded to do a show.
Yeah.
Well, before the show was even over, there were phone calls to the studio manager about what we had done. And we were, Video Newark was put on a hiatus, if you will.
Yeah.
That just never came back from.
Yeah. Went on a nap that it never woke up from.
Yes. All of this to say, this was a lifetime ago, frankly. It was 20 plus years ago. I've learned a lot. I will say this, though. I would not have done anything differently.
No.
Nor
should you have. Like, the thing was that was not, it wasn't out of line. Apparently just people couldn't I don't know if you look again. If you don't like something, just turn it off, bro. You don't have to like they talk about back when Howard Stern was really edgy. You know what I'm saying? Like the average Howard Stern listener would listen to like a couple hours of the show. It was normally like a commute show type deal. The average Howard Stern hater
listen longer.
The entire thing. Like people, a lot of people who've been ragging on Dave Chappelle. Most people watch the whole special and enjoy it. but then like the average hater of Dave Chappelle will watch the entire show multiple times,
hoping they can.
they'll find the clip or what? Excuse me, find the clip, take it out of context, and then try and use it to cancel them.
Yep.
So it's the same thing. Like honestly, bro, like I thought we all had a good laugh about it. And that was the thing too, is that I think one of the things that hurt, I mean, I know what kind of hurt you the most, in just my humble opinion, was that Roddy turned on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that hurt because like we had conversations about it. Because I was like, yo, like why? He was involved, like he okayed it and everything else. And he kind of threw all of us under the bus.
Yeah, he made it seem like these high schoolers and just after graduating kids like pressured him into doing it.
Yeah.
And again, you were in the sketch. Like,
yeah, and so the whole thing was that I know for a fact that hurt you. Because you thought you were friends with him, and I mean, you guys were cool. But
I mean, I had worked on that show at that point for 6+ years.
Oh,
did Mark start
cancel culture? Stupid.
I mean,
kind of, but like the thing was,
I was first.
I was first. But no, I mean, like, and so there was nothing that was super out of line. Again, it was very much a sketch. And we kind of kept names out of it, so and so forth. I mean, yes, we made.
Yeah, I was Coach Quick.
Yeah, so it was that we didn't use actual names. We didn't use anything that was out of line. Didn't use any foul language, anything like that. Everything was copacetic as far as following the rules. But apparently, people got butthurt. And they couldn't handle a joke, and therefore, the show that Mark helped helped create more of a kind of community about. I mean, like he said, he brought in all his friends, at different times. We pop in and out, and but. Yeah, it was a good time while it lasted, but unfortunately, on some BS, got canceled. So,
yeah, I like I said, and you're right. I think for me, my biggest problem with it was the fact that I worked on this thing for 6 years. I wasn't there. 1 week I didn't show up. Yeah, because I probably would have had you play me. Yeah, I worked on that thing for over 6 years. I knew how to run that. I could do a show, from in the control booth. I could run a show and do a show by myself if I had to.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really, I think yes. When I think back on it, it was disappointing with Roddy that he signed off on the sketch. He was a part of the sketch, and then he turncoat and made it seem like he had nothing to do with it and that it was all me. And I took ownership. What about the BT dub shows in the studio?
Oh,
those were good times.
Those were good.
Big time wrestling in the studio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the first ever recorded Chris Jericho matches was there. We did several shows just from the booth. That's absolutely correct. When we were short staffed, and but yeah, so needless to say, let's not get Pop Culture Kaboom canceled.
No, absolutely not.
Let's not.
We want no sketches on Pop Culture Kaboom.
Yeah, no sketches on Pop Culture Kaboom. That's the nice thing about Fat Black Connection is we don't report to anyone, and they can't really cancel us. We can say whatever the hell we want. We can make fun of whoever the hell we really want. As long as we don't really say anything that's libelous, say, James is a big old raging homosexual, right? Like,
I'm suing my own show.
Yes. But ultimately, as long as we don't do something that is illegal, Like if we were to start, snorting coke on screen
Oh,
or
geez.
something, I'm just thinking
Golly.
like,
That's
you
we don't do drugs, people.
No, not anymore. I mean, no, not ever. I remember doing a show with the White Menace, get it right, and one me and just Hugh.
Oh.
Hugh Carter.
Oh, Hugh Carter, dear Lord, that guy.
What's up, brother?
That guy.
Hey, James, what do you think about Larry Bird? Is he the greatest of all time? Come on, brother.
Oh man, that guy. He is. He is a horrible driver, by the way.
They let him have a license.
I rode with him one time, and that was a mistake.
Why did you get in that car?
Just because I was like, he said we're hanging out.
So I got to ask, because James just sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'm hungry." And James, correct me if I'm wrong, but right before we met this evening at 7:30 to prep for the show, you said you went downstairs to grab a quick bite to eat, and that's why you're running a couple minutes behind.
No, I said I was trying to grab a quick bite to eat. I grabbed my chips, I grabbed the beer, I grabbed my drinks, but I was trying to grab. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to eat, and then by the time I figured out what I wanted to eat, I was like, "Oh, I don't got enough time to heat it up."
So your chips have not been fulfilling, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're now you're going to be the fat one. You need to go eat.
Yeah. Well, plus I got to go to the bathroom too.
I don't want to know what happened to Fremont Christian.
If you ever talk to Hugh, he'll tell you all about it.
Yes,
multiple times.
I don't want to know.
It wasn't anything like crazy. It was just.
Sure.
It was.
Well, James, before we go, I guess, since you're adamant that you want to get out of here, is there any last minute thoughts or anything you want to share with the people?
Yeah, have a good evening, everybody, and we'll see you next week.